and welcome to the recording of my book launch. My book is The Teaching of Reading to Learners with Complex Needs, and I hope what it does is it's going to provide professionals and families as well as learners with a kind of toolkit of strategies, approaches and ideas that are based on theory, that are based on an understanding of how we learn to read. So I'm really lucky to be able to share all of this with you, and I hope you enjoy it.
I come to education on behalf of the boy who did a lot of colouring in and got shouted at on a regular basis for being completely dim-witted. And I come here on behalf of him, on behalf of the thousands of other people as I was, and indeed on behalf of the thousands of children who have more profound and complex needs. I come on behalf of all of those into education, and I come with every hope in my heart. I think we work with humanity. We work with resilience. We have to fight our own corner. And my goodness, we've seen that recently in terms of Ofsted and all the things that have happened recently. We have to work together. We have to be collaborative, but we have to have high expectations in terms of the entitlement that all children should have to an education, to be taught to read and write. And for some children, it's incredibly simple. And for others, it's more challenging. So I'm going to leave you in a moment because I've got an evening meeting, but I'm completely, like all of you, I'm totally passionate about this. Our children have an entitlement to education. And my reading of Sarah's book this is one of the first books I've seen that actually sets it out quite clearly and says, I think what Sarah is saying, and certainly in my conversations with Anne and with Jonathan and Chantal, that we can do better. And all of us here, we know we can do better, and we have to encourage, we have to motivate, we have to collaborate with different schools and different units across the country that we can do better. We can raise our game. And so this is why, Sarah, I described your book as a call to arms. It is a call to arms. Let's raise our game. Let's raise our expectations. But my goodness, all those who knock education, come and look at these people. Here we are, 7 o'clock in the evening. We're all tired. You've been at it all day. And yet we are totally passionate, totally committed to this wonderful thing that we're all engaged in. And good luck to you all.
I do think that Pies had a really, really good point there, and that is being given the opportunity to learn. And I think this is something that this book really does help to build on. And it's something that we need to make sure we do. And what I love about the book is, this is not just about you writing a book. A lot of passionate people have really contributed to this. I was looking down the list, just the people I know, Beck Swatton, Nick Sheffield, Les Stays, Pete Wells, all of these people, Jonathan, fantastic that all you lot, and lots more schools have been involved in actually putting this book together. And I think it is a fantastic, it's a brilliant step forward.
Even when a lot of educators and parents and carers and trainees have the will to do this, they don't always understand how to do it. And I'm just going to make one little point. You could take that book and find something that you could do in a class to make things better. There's all kinds of things. So it's something certainly that I'm going to suggest to my ITT trainees as a kind of guide to, if you're not sure how to do it, take a look and grab some ideas from there, because you've curated a massive amount of knowledge, really. So it's thank you from me for that.
When I wrote my memoir, I Can Write, I did so in the hope that it would change and challenge perceptions of children who, like me, are yoked with the label profound and multiple learning difficulties. Children and young people whose access to the curriculum had not yet been found, whose label was given based on outward appearances, whose school life consisted of a sensory curriculum devoid of literacy. But lots of people looked to my story and branded it exceptional. So I founded my charity, Teach Us Too, to show that my experience is not unique. There are others, lots of others, who will benefit from good literacy instruction. Sarah has not only got the same vision, she has the expertise to deliver it. And through this book, you can encounter the schools and individuals whose lives have changed through literacy. So now this vision expands further. Sarah, your logo is a single starfish, and to date you have been diligently picking those learners up from the shoreline. But in publishing a book, you can now change the tide.
So Jonathan wrote that, and I'm going to speak a little bit about Teach Us Too, which is the charity that Jonathan mentioned that he founded. Our relationship as a charity with Sarah had started in the early days when we had a Teach Us Too study day, and Sarah came along. And what's so exciting about the partnership that we have is that we bring the why and Sarah brings the how. Her expertise and her knowledge and her understanding of literacy education for learners is just incredibly valuable. And we're so grateful that we can share that with other teachers and professionals in the field. We've had Sarah run 6 sponsored courses now, approximately 150 teachers from across the schools and many settings from all across the country. And as a charity, we're really looking forward to working together, both to deliver more of these sponsored courses, but also to research and hopefully develop a literacy curriculum framework that can be used in schools and settings, ensuring that literacy teaching is embedded within every school for every learner, with no exception. Jonathan agrees.
Thank you, Jonathan.
An awful lot of respect for Sarah as a professional as well. She's extremely passionate about reading for everyone. What I love about this book, so as a sensory storyteller, I'm always taking or often taking complex concepts like, radicalization or personal hygiene or Jack and the Beanstalk, and I'm breaking that down right into its tiniest little parts to help my learners understand. And Sarah's done a great job of that with this book. So she's taken the ridiculously complex topic of literacy and reading for very complex learners, and she's really, really broken them down into the smallest bits for people to be able to digest and read. So I loved it. We have lots and lots and lots of case studies, which are fantastic. So that gives you lots of ideas. And that's going to be great for networking. There's a few names that I've written down in that book that I've thought, right, I'm going to get in touch with that person and see more about that. And I think lots of professionals are going to do that.
The whole point of education is to enable children to lead their lives to the full. And everyone deserves to lead their lives to the full. And literacy is about learning to share information with others. And everyone needs to share information. Everyone deserves to share information. Now, reading is a form of information gathering information from other people. Reading in every form, whether it's text or whether it's reading an emotional face or reading the room that our friend was talking about. So, this is where the reading is important in everybody's life. And reading is not just about gathering fact. Reading is about gathering emotion and sharing emotion. And that's where reading melds into literacy. It's a part of literacy that's such an important thing. Now, the point is that for our kids, we have to consider, where does that journey begin? And it certainly begins a long way, a lot deeper levels of learning than the national curriculum describes. And I'm proud that Sarah has looked at the diagram of the roots and that she's used that, and along with the diagram of the reading rope, which gathers all those same things together in a different way. The beauty of this is that, for me, in Sarah's book, she shows us the roots, but what she does as well is encourages us to let those roots grow and see the value of letting those roots grow as far as they will. She doesn't put any limits on that. She may, it may be true that some of the students won't reach those levels of using phonics in terms of text, but they will use the sonics that come before phonics in order to transmit their emotion. So what Sarah has done is to show us the roots, but also encourage us to let them grow as far as they will. So thank you, Sarah, for being so encouraging to us all. Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you to everyone that has supported me in the writing of this book, and I hope that it adds to the body of knowledge in this area and enables us to deepen our understanding and our definition of what it means to be a reader. It's the importance of making sure that we're established that inclusive definition, that we talk about everybody as a reader, and that we involve everybody within the reading community. If we start from the premise that we're all a reader, and we start from considering this reading community as containing everyone, what we do then is that we're reducing the barriers to access, and it's just about how we can ensure that learners have accessible opportunities, that the opportunities are meaningful, that they're engaging, and that they're motivating. And for every single learner out there, for every single child and young person, it's about finding those key aspects. And I really hope that this book helps in some way to just provide greater opportunities for all of our learners. Thank you.